What if, for just 14 days, you made a decision that most people never dare to attempt? What if you didn't just cut back on sugar, but eliminated it completely? No soft drinks, no pastries, no just one bite, no hidden sugars sneaking into your meals. Pure, unapologetic zero. Imagine your body waking up on day one, confused. It's been living on sugar highs and crashes for years. But now, silence. No quick dopamine hits, no sweet comfort. Just the question echoing inside your biology. Where is the sugar? This is where the story begins, not with weight loss or diets, but with a deeper transformation. Because sugar is not just food. It's chemistry. It alters hormones, appetite, mood, energy, and even how your cells communicate. When you remove it, your body doesn't just respond. It reorganizes itself. The first major shift? Your appetite for sugar begins to fade. Every time you normally eat sugar, insulin surges to push blood sugar down. That drop, hypoglycemia, is what triggers the next craving. It's not lack of willpower, it's pure biology. Sugar makes you want more sugar, but when you break that loop, silence. No more constant thoughts of dessert. No more needing something sweet after every meal. You start to feel, perhaps for the first time in years, in control. And then something surprising happens. You become less hungry overall. Most people don't realize this until they try it. Sugar keeps you in a perpetual state of hunger. It makes your cells block insulin to protect themselves from excess glucose. This is called insulin resistance. The body isn't being difficult. It's trying to survive. When you remove sugar, this resistance begins to reverse. Your cells finally open the doors. Real fuel can get in. Nutrients, vitamins, minerals are absorbed properly again. For the first time in a long time. Your cells are fed, not just stimulated. And this is only the beginning. This isn't just about losing sweetness. It's about regaining clarity, energy, and power over your own biology. It's about rediscovering what your body feels like without the constant chemical noise of sugar. 2 weeks may sound short, but inside you, a revolution is about to begin. Sugar doesn't just sit innocently on your tongue. It hijacks your brain. The moment it hits your bloodstream, it triggers dopamine, the same reward chemical linked to gambling, social media, even hard drugs. This isn't accidental. Sugar was rare in nature. Berries, honey, ripe fruit. So the brain evolved to treat it like treasure. But in the modern world, sugar is everywhere, and our biology hasn't caught up. Each sugary bite creates a spike in blood glucose, and insulin rushes in like a firefighter trying to control the blaze. But insulin often overcorrects, pushing sugar too low. You crash, you crave. And to escape the crash, you reach for more sugar. This isn't lack of discipline. This is a biochemical trap. Over time, your body gets tired of the constant insulin spikes and begins to block the signal. This is insulin resistance, the body's desperate attempt to shield its cells from sugar overload. But there's a problem. Insulin doesn't just carry sugar into cells. It also transports essential nutrients. When the door is closed, your cells starve. Even when you're eating constantly. This is why you can be full, but still hungry. Historically, humans consumed less than a few pounds of sugar per year. Today, the average person consumes over 150 pounds annually. Our biology was never built for this. In the early 1900s, type 2 diabetes was extremely rare. Today, it's one of the most common diseases on Earth. Not because we're weaker, but because we're drowning in sweet. When you stop eating sugar, you break a cycle deeper than habit. You interrupt a biological addiction, and then something powerful happens. Your hunger calms. Your energy stabilizes. The mental noise begins to fade. You realize how often sugar was controlling your decisions, your moods, even your identity. It's like stepping out of a fog you didn't know you were in. And sugar's grip isn't just physical, it's emotional. We celebrate with it. We cope with it. We reward ourselves with it. Sugar became comfort, escape, even love. But it's a love that never gives back. When you let it go, your body isn't the only thing that begins to heal. Your relationship with yourself starts to change. You're no longer chasing fleeting highs. You're building real stability from the inside out. And now, with the craving loop broken, something extraordinary begins. You finally experience real nourishment. In the next phase of this journey, your body will show you what true energy feels like. Steady, deep, and clean. Imagine waking up in the morning and not thinking about breakfast right away. Imagine going hours without feeling frantic for a snack. For most people, this sounds impossible because sugar keeps them trapped in false hunger. But the moment you remove sugar, the hunger quiets. Why? Because you finally stabilize your blood sugar. When sugar floods the bloodstream, it gives you a quick high, but leaves you crashing soon after. Your brain mistakes that crash for starvation, even if you just ate. It sends urgent signals. Eat now. Eat something sweet. This is why sugar-based diets feel like survival mode. It's not you lacking discipline. It's your cells begging for real fuel. But once you break the sugar cycle, your body begins to unlock fat as an energy source. This is the turning point. Fat is a slow, steady, powerful fuel. The human body stores tens of thousands of calories in fat, but only about 2,000 in sugar, glycogen. As long as sugar is available, the body refuses to touch fat. It's like living in a mansion, but being trapped in a tiny room. When insulin levels fall, because you stopped pounding sugar, your cells finally get access to the mansion. The doors open, the energy famine is over. But there's another benefit most people never expect: better nutrient absorption. Insulin doesn't just control blood sugar, it also transports vitamins and minerals into your cells. When insulin resistance is high, nutrients get blocked. You could be eating healthy foods and still feel tired, foggy, moody, depleted. Once insulin sensitivity improves, your body becomes efficient again. Magnesium starts calming your nerves. Potassium supports your muscles. B vitamins spark cellular energy. Your body goes from surviving to optimizing. Suddenly, food feels different. You don't chase flavor highs, you seek nourishment. Real meals become satisfying on a deeper level. Protein fills you up. Vegetables give you life. Healthy fats keep you steady for hours. You begin to understand the difference between craving and true hunger. This shift is more than physical, it's psychological. Sugar trains the brain to think in short-term rewards. Fat and nutrients teach the body long-term balance. You begin to feel a new kind of peace, a quiet, sustained energy that doesn't spike or crash. It's like going from a shaky candle to a steady fire. This is where many people say, "I didn't know I could feel this good." But we're not even done. Because once energy stabilizes, something incredible happens in the mind. Your brain wakes up. You stop surviving the day and start performing. And in the next part, we enter the most surprising transformation of all. There's a moment in this journey when something feels different. You finish a meal, and instead of feeling heavy, sleepy, or foggy, you feel awake, present, clear. For most people, this is shocking. We've accepted post-meal fatigue as normal. The afternoon crash, the need for caffeine, the brain fog that blurs our thoughts. But this isn't normal. It's a chemical side effect of blood sugar spikes. When you eat sugar, glucose floods the bloodstream and the brain. A sudden surge of energy, followed by suppression. The brain becomes sluggish. Cognitive speed drops. Focus scatters. Mood swings rise. One study even showed that high sugar intake is linked to increased risk of depression and anxiety. Sugar doesn't just change the body, it rewires the mind. But when you take sugar away, the brain can finally breathe. No more energy roller coaster, no more chemical chaos. Instead, your body begins producing ketones, a cleaner, more efficient fuel derived from fat. And here's the astonishing part. Ketones don't just maintain brain function, they supercharge it. Ketones increase mitochondrial efficiency, the tiny power plants inside brain cells. They reduce oxidative stress. They even trigger the release of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a growth factor scientists call miracle grow for the brain. In this state, people report sharper focus, improved memory, faster thinking, deeper creativity, calm mental energy that lasts for hours. This isn't hype. Historically, ketogenic diets were used to treat epilepsy in the 1920s because they stabilize the electrical rhythms of the brain. Today, researchers are exploring ketones for Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, ADHD, and mood disorders. Why? Because when sugar is gone, the brain stops fighting and starts thriving. And there's something deeper happening. Your mood stabilizes. Without sugar spikes, cortisol, the stress hormone, drops. Emotional swings soften. You become calmer, more resilient, more centered. You don't just think clearer, you feel clearer. Presence becomes your default state. In a world full of distractions, this mental stillness feels almost spiritual. Imagine sitting down to work and slipping into deep focus effortlessly. Imagine remembering details without trying. Imagine feeling motivated, not forced, to take action. This is what happens when the fog lifts. Your brain was never broken. It was just drowning in sugar. And as the mind awakens, the body begins its most visible transformation yet. The mirror starts to reflect the change happening within. Water leaves, fat burns. The shape of health begins to emerge. In the next part, we witness the physical transformation that shocks almost everyone. The first week without sugar can feel like a miracle. You step on the scale, or simply look in the mirror, and something is different. Your face looks less puffy. Your stomach feels flatter. Your clothes fit looser. It's not magic, it's science. When you eat sugar or refined carbs, your body stores glycogen in the liver and muscles. But here's the hidden truth. Every gram of glycogen holds about 3 to 4 grams of water. So each time you eat sugar, your body swells, silently retaining fluid, inflaming tissues, burdening the heart. Remove sugar, and your body finally releases it. Some people can lose up to 13 pounds of water in just 1 week. Not from dieting, but from simply allowing the body to let go. Then, something even more powerful begins. Fat burning. After the water leaves, the body turns to its deepest energy reserve, fat. And this isn't just surface-level fat. It includes the stubborn visceral fat around the midsection, the kind linked to heart disease, fatty liver, and metabolic dysfunction. For centuries, humans survived by burning fat during times of scarcity. Our biology is designed for it. Sugar blocks it. When insulin is high, fat burning shuts down. When insulin drops, because sugar is gone, fat becomes the primary fuel. This is metabolic freedom. Your waistline becomes the ultimate report card. Eat sugar, Belly expands. Cut sugar. Belly shrinks. The midsection is more than just appearance. It's a warning system. A large waist often signals internal fat around the liver, pancreas, and organs. But when you stop feeding the cycle, the body begins to clean itself from the inside out. And the changes aren't only physical, they're emotional. As your body unburdens itself, you feel lighter in every way. Your joints ache less. Your sleep improves. Your energy lasts. Your posture straightens. Your confidence returns. You start to recognize someone in the mirror you haven't seen in a long time. Someone healthier, more vibrant, more alive. And this transformation ignites something even deeper. Hope. The realization that change is possible. That the body is not your enemy. It's been waiting for you to give it a chance to heal. But physical change is only one side of the story. There's a transformation happening beneath the skin, one that touches your mood, your hormones, your identity, even the way you experience joy. In the next phase, we explore one of the most surprising gifts of quitting sugar. You don't just look better, you feel better. What if removing sugar didn't just change your body, but change the way you exist in the world? Because now, something even more powerful unfolds. Your emotions, your skin, your hormones, your very identity begin to transform. First, the mood. When you were eating sugar, irritation and stress could appear out of nowhere. One minute you're fine, the next you're snapping at someone you care about. You thought it was just a bad day, but it was blood sugar volatility controlling your emotions. Each spike and crash triggered cortisol and adrenaline, stress chemicals. But without sugar, your internal landscape becomes calm. You don't overreact. You don't feel as anxious. You become pleasant to be around. This is deeper than mood. It's emotional freedom. You're no longer a passenger to biochemical chaos. Even focus and attention improve. Many describe it as less ADHD, more presence, more control. Your mind stops bouncing. It starts building. And then, noticeably, the skin changes. It glows. Why does sugar cause so many skin problems? Because every sugar spike increases insulin, and insulin triggers androgens, male hormones, in females. This hormonal imbalance drives acne, oiliness, and inflammation on the skin's surface. In males, insulin surges lower testosterone, leading to fatigue, mood issues, and other health problems tied to hormonal imbalance. When insulin normalizes, so do hormones. Your skin clears, your texture improves, your natural radiance returns. You look rested, even before you fix your sleep. But this change is more than surface deep. It affects how you carry yourself. You feel confident walking into a room. You speak with more ease. You trust your body again. Sugar numbed these signals. Removing it lets you reconnect with them. And there's something profoundly human about this stage. When your appearance reflects health, your identity shifts. You no longer chase confidence, you embody it. This isn't about vanity. It's about alignment. The inside and outside of you finally agree. But the story doesn't end at beauty and mood. Because as the body calms, a quiet war within you begins to resolve. A war you may not even know was there. Inflammation, pain, stiffness, swelling. These are not signs of aging. They're signs of internal fire. And sugar has been fueling that fire for years. In the next chapter, something remarkable happens. The fire begins to die, and your body starts to feel young again. There's a moment, quiet but unmistakable, when you stand up in the morning and realize it doesn't hurt. Your knees feel lighter. Your back moves more freely. The stiffness that used to greet you every day has started to fade. This isn't coincidence. This is inflammation leaving your body. Sugar is one of the most inflammatory substances we consume. It spikes insulin, elevates inflammatory cytokines, and damages blood vessels. Every spike is like a microscopic wildfire inside your joints, your arteries, your organs. Over time, this constant low-grade fire becomes pain, swelling, stiffness, fatigue, and eventually, disease. But once sugar is gone, the fires go out. Your body finally goes from damage control to repair mode. And during this repair, something extraordinary is happening at the cellular level. Your body is changing its primary fuel. For your entire life, your cells have mostly run on glucose. Quick, unstable, dirty energy. But when you turn off the sugar supply, your body begins building new enzymes and metabolic machinery to run on fat fuel instead. This process, called fat adaptation, begins within 3 days of lowering carbohydrate intake. Those first 3 days can be hard. You might feel foggy, irritable, even flu-like. This is not failure. It is metabolic withdrawal. Your cells are reprogramming themselves. Little machines inside you, mitochondria, are literally upgrading. Most people quit here, but if you push through, the payoff is enormous. Once fully adapted, burning fat becomes effortless. Energy becomes stable. Mental clarity becomes your baseline. Hunger no longer controls you. Inflammation drops dramatically. Even your arteries begin to heal. Less swelling, less oxidative stress, less risk of clots, plaque, stroke, or heart attack. This isn't just weight loss, it's disease prevention at the deepest level. And then, the most poetic transformation of all, your brain begins to grow. When your body runs on ketones instead of sugar, your brain receives its favorite fuel. Ketones stimulate neurogenesis, the creation of new brain cells. Think about that. You are literally renewing your mind. And it doesn't stop there. Your liver begins to release stored fat, reversing fatty liver disease. Your cardiovascular system calms. Your immune system strengthens. Your entire internal world becomes cleaner, quieter, sharper. You're not just feeling younger. You're becoming younger on a cellular level. But there is one more chapter to this story. A deeper healing that affects the organs most damaged by sugar. The liver and the kidneys. And once you understand what happens there, you'll never see sugar the same way again. This is where the transformation goes from visible to profound. Because the final changes don't just affect how you look or feel, they reshape the organs that determine how long and how well you live. Let's begin with the liver, the silent warrior of the body. Every day, it filters toxins, balances hormones, processes nutrients, and regulates blood sugar. But when sugar intake is high, the liver becomes overwhelmed. Excess sugar, especially fructose, is converted into fat and stored inside the liver itself. Over time, this leads to fatty liver, a condition once seen only in alcoholics. Today, children are being diagnosed with it. But here's the hope. The liver is one of the most regenerative organs in the human body. The moment you lower sugar and insulin levels, the liver begins releasing stored fat, using it as fuel. Slowly, cell by cell, the liver cleanses itself. It becomes more efficient. Hormones rebalance. Detoxification improves. Even your metabolism speeds up, because a healthy liver is the engine of fat burning. Now look at the kidneys. In people with high blood sugar, especially diabetics, the kidneys take the damage. Tiny blood vessels become scarred and weakened. Filtration declines. Over time, kidney disease becomes inevitable. But when you stop flooding the bloodstream with sugar, something incredible happens. Kidney function begins to recover. Blood flow improves. Inflammation drops. The microscopic structures inside the kidneys begin to heal. It's like taking pressure off a dam that's been cracking for years and finally reinforcing it from the inside. And then, the most astonishing transformation of all, your brain begins to build itself new. With sugar gone, the body shifts into ketosis, producing ketones that fuel neurons more cleanly than glucose. Ketones enhance mitochondrial function, reduce oxidative stress, and signal the brain to produce BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, the compound responsible for growing new brain cells and strengthening existing connections. You're not just protecting your brain, you are renewing it. Better memory, sharper thinking, slower aging, reduced risk of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Why? Because the brain loves stability, and sugar is chaos. And in the quiet of this transformation, something deeply human emerges. Clarity of self. Without sugar numbing your senses, you feel more grounded in your own body, more present in your life, more connected to your choices. You realize health isn't just the absence of disease, it's the presence of alignment. Mind, body, energy, purpose, working together again. So what happens if you stop eating sugar for 14 days? You lose cravings, you gain control, you stabilize energy, you think clearer, you burn fat, you glow. You move with ease, you protect your heart, liver, kidneys, and brain. You rebuild your biology from the inside out. And perhaps most importantly, you rediscover what it feels like to be fully alive. The proof isn't in the pudding, it's in the choice. 2 weeks, one decision, a different life.